Hello and welcome. Today, we're uncovering some of the most heartbreaking stories from the WWE universe. We'll talk about the untimely deaths of legendary wrestlers who left us far too soon. From the reasons behind their tragic passings to the impact these losses had on fans worldwide, we'll cover it all. And that's not all. There's also some very sad news about Randy Orton that we'll share. Stay tuned till the end, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more WWE stories. Mitch Ryder, born on August 2, 1972, was a talented American professional wrestler who made a notable impact on the wrestling scene during the early 2000s. Starting his career on the independent circuit, Ryder quickly stood out for his natural charisma and impressive in-ring abilities. Fans and peers alike admired his high-energy performances and his genuine ability to connect with the audience, helping him build a loyal following. Throughout his career, Ryder competed in various wrestling promotions, including the International Wrestling Association, IWA. He later caught the attention of World Wrestling Entertainment, WWE, where he worked in their developmental territories, honing his craft and preparing for bigger opportunities. Ryder was a versatile wrestler, equally comfortable executing technical maneuvers or engaging in hardcore, intense matches. His rebellious and gritty persona perfectly suited the late 1990s and early 2000s wrestling landscape, a time when edgier, more intense storylines dominated the industry. Despite his promising career and rising popularity, Mitch Ryder's life was tragically cut short when he passed away at just 32 years old. His untimely death sent shockwaves through the wrestling community, as many saw him as a rising star with immense potential. While his time in the spotlight was brief, Ryder's passion, dedication, and memorable performances left a lasting impression on both fans and fellow wrestlers. Today, Mitch Ryder is remembered not only for his skill and charisma in the ring, but also for the determination he showed throughout his career. His legacy serves as a poignant reminder of the challenges faced by wrestlers and the passion that drives them to entertain audiences worldwide. Though his journey ended too soon, the mark he left on professional wrestling continues to be felt. Misty Blue Simmons, born Diane Cotton Simmies on February 8, 1956, was a trailblazing figure in American professional wrestling, especially known for her vital role in advancing women's wrestling. Starting her career in the mid-1980s, she trained under the legendary Killer Kowalski, one of the most respected wrestling trainers of the era. Simmons made her wrestling debut in 1985 and quickly earned a reputation for her impressive athleticism and engaging charisma inside the ring. Throughout her career, Misty Blue Simmons showcased her talents across several wrestling promotions, including occasional appearances in the World Wrestling Federation, WWF. Her high-energy style and connection with fans helped elevate the profile of women's wrestling during a time when the sport was still fighting for recognition and respect. She became known not only for her performances, but also for the passion and dedication she brought to every match. Beyond her in-ring achievements, Simmons played an important role in the evolution of women's professional wrestling. She was a strong advocate for empowering women athletes and contributed significantly to the growth of the women's division at a time when female wrestlers were often overlooked. Her influence helped pave the way for future generations of women in wrestling, inspiring many to pursue the sport professionally. Misty Blue Simmons passed away on January 19, 2023, at the age of 66. Her death was deeply mourned by fans and fellow wrestlers alike, all of whom remembered her as a talented performer and a pioneer for women in wrestling. Her legacy remains alive through the lasting impact she made on the sport and the progress of women's wrestling that she helped to foster during her career. King Kong Kirk, born Malcolm Kirk on December 18, 1935, in Featherstone, West Yorkshire, was a towering figure in British professional wrestling. Making his debut in the 1960s, Kirk quickly earned a reputation for his sheer size and strength. Standing 6 feet 2 inches tall and weighing over 300 pounds, his imposing physique made him an unforgettable presence inside the ring. Known for his aggressive and hard-hitting wrestling style, Kirk often took on the role of the villain, thrilling fans with his ability to dominate and overpower opponents. Throughout his career, King Kong Kirk became one of the most feared and respected wrestlers in the UK. His intense, physical matches drew crowds, and his persona as a tough, relentless competitor made him a staple in British wrestling's golden era. A defining chapter of his career was his heated rivalry with Big Daddy, one of the most beloved figures in British wrestling history. Their clashes were legendary, captivating fans, and contributing to the enduring popularity of wrestling across the region. Tragically, Kirk's career and life were cut short during a match against Big Daddy on August 23, 1987, at the Hippodrome in Great Yarmouth, Norfolk. In the middle of the match, Kirk suffered a fatal heart attack. Despite immediate medical attention, he passed away at just 51 years old. His sudden death shocked the wrestling community and underscored the physical toll the sport can take on its athletes. King Kong Kirk's legacy remains significant. He is remembered not only for his powerful wrestling style and memorable rivalries, but also as a symbol of the passion and physicality that defined British wrestling during his era. His impact continues to be felt by fans and wrestlers alike, preserving his place in wrestling history. Candy Devine, born January 1, 1959, was a highly respected professional wrestler whose career left a lasting mark on women's wrestling. She passed away at the age of 63, leaving behind a legacy that continues to inspire. Rising to prominence during the 1980s and 1990s, Devine competed in major wrestling promotions such as the World Wrestling Federation, WWF, and All Japan Women's Pro Wrestling, showcasing her talent on an international stage. Known for her unique blend of athleticism and captivating showmanship, Candy Devine stood out in an era when women's wrestling was beginning to break new ground. Her performances were marked by both skill and charisma, which helped her connect deeply with audiences. Throughout her career, she won multiple women's championships across various promotions, proving herself as one of the top competitors of her generation. Beyond her achievements in the ring, Devine was celebrated for her dedication to the sport and her role as a mentor to younger wrestlers. She took pride in empowering women and encouraging future generations to pursue professional wrestling with passion and confidence. Her positive attitude and professionalism earned her the admiration of fans and colleagues alike, making her a beloved figure both on and off the screen. Candy Devine's passing was deeply mourned in the wrestling world. Fans and wrestlers remembered her not only for her impressive in-ring career, but also for her significant contributions to elevating women's roles within the sport. Her influence helped pave the way for female athletes in professional wrestling, and her legacy as a trailblazer and pioneer endures, securing her place in wrestling history forever. Kamala, born James Harris on May 28, 1950, in Senatobia, Mississippi, was a legendary American professional wrestler best known for his unforgettable and larger-than-life character. Rising to fame in the 1980s and 1990s, particularly in the World Wrestling Federation, WWF, now WWE, Kamala captivated fans with his portrayal of a fearsome Ugandan giant. His tribal warrior gimmick, complete with striking face paint, a loincloth, and a distinctive mask, made him stand out as one of wrestling's most memorable characters. Kamala began his wrestling career in the early 1970s, working in various regional promotions before gaining national recognition. He competed in notable organizations such as the American Wrestling Association, AWA, and World Championship Wrestling, WCW. Despite his imposing size, Kamala surprised many with his agility, especially with his signature move, the Kamala Splash, a diving splash that became a fan favorite. Throughout his career, Kamala squared off against some of wrestling's biggest icons, including Hulk Hogan and The Undertaker. His intense feuds and matches helped solidify his place in wrestling history. Known for his powerful presence and unique style, Kamala was a staple of the wrestling scene during his prime. Off the ring, James Harris was a respected figure who helped pave the way for African-American wrestlers in the industry. Tragically, Kamala passed away at the age of 70 due to complications related to diabetes. His legacy endures as a pioneer who brought an unforgettable character and presence to professional wrestling, inspiring generations of fans and performers alike. Kamala remains a beloved and iconic figure whose impact on the sport continues to be celebrated. Stanley Frazier, better known by his ring name Uncle Elmer, was a memorable figure in 1980s professional wrestling, especially during his time in the World Wrestling Federation, WWF. Born on June 24, 1948, Uncle Elmer became a fan favorite due to his unique and entertaining country uncle persona. His character was a perfect blend of humor and down-home charm, which brought a refreshing and light-hearted vibe to the wrestling world. Standing an imposing 6 feet 4 inches tall and weighing around 350 pounds, Uncle Elmer's physical presence was as large as his personality. He made his WWF debut in 1985, quickly becoming part of the promotion's vibrant roster filled with colorful characters. Uncle Elmer's gimmick was often comedic, and he excelled in entertaining the audience not just with wrestling skills, but with funny skits and memorable moments. One of his standout appearances was in a wedding segment that showcased his comedic timing and helped endear him to fans. While Uncle Elmer's character was known more for humor and personality, he was also a capable in-ring performer. He competed against several notable wrestlers during his WWF tenure and appeared on major events like the Big Event in 1986 and WrestleMania 3, further cementing his place in wrestling history. After retiring from active competition, Uncle Elmer remained connected to wrestling, frequently attending events and fan conventions where he shared stories from his career. Sadly, he passed away at the age of 55, but his legacy lives on as a beloved, larger-than-life character who helped shape the golden era of professional wrestling with his warmth, humor, and memorable performances. Starman, born on November 16, 1974, was a beloved professional wrestler whose vibrant career left a lasting mark on the wrestling world. Known for his colorful persona and dynamic high-flying style, Starman quickly became a fan favorite, especially during the peak of his career. His unique ring attire, bright, eye-catching, and adorned with star motifs, made him instantly recognizable and endeared him to audiences, particularly younger fans. Throughout his career, Starman competed in multiple wrestling promotions, where he consistently showcased his exceptional athleticism and magnetic charisma. His in-ring performances were a blend of agility, skill, and showmanship, highlighted by impressive aerial maneuvers that thrilled audiences and earned him widespread respect from fans and peers alike. But Starman's impact extended far beyond his in-ring success. He was deeply committed to the wrestling community, often taking part in charity events and making appearances at smaller local wrestling shows. His passion for the sport and his warm, positive personality made him an inspiring figure, encouraging many young wrestlers to pursue their dreams. Those who knew him remember him not only for his talent, but also for his genuine kindness and role model qualities. Tragically, Starman passed away at the age of 47, a loss that stunned the wrestling community. The outpouring of tributes from fans, colleagues, and promoters reflected the profound influence he had on the sport and the people around him. Though his life was cut short, Starman's legacy lives on through the countless fans and wrestlers he inspired. His extraordinary talent, infectious enthusiasm, and commitment to entertaining and uplifting others will ensure he is remembered fondly for years to come. Randy Orton is undeniably one of the most iconic and accomplished professional wrestlers in WWE history. Over a career that spans more than 2 decades, Orton has carved out a legacy as a dominant and captivating performer, earning the respect of fans, peers, and critics alike. Yet behind the thrilling moments and championship victories lies a story of intense physical struggle, perseverance, and a relentless battle against injuries that have threatened to derail his career on multiple occasions. From the early days as the WWE's youngest world champion to becoming the face of the company's top storylines, Orton's journey has been defined as much by his resilience outside the ring as by his prowess within it. His in-ring style, marked by a deadly blend of technical skill, calculated aggression, and raw power, has delivered countless unforgettable matches, but also a hefty toll on his body. This article explores the highs and lows of Randy Orton's wrestling career with a special focus on the injuries that challenged his limits, the difficult road to recovery, and the rumors swirling around his health. It also celebrates his enduring legacy as a true warrior in the squared circle. Early years and the birth of a star, Randall Keith Orton, born on April 1st, 1980, into a family steeped in wrestling history, seemed destined for the spotlight from the start. As a third-generation wrestler, with his grandfather Bob Orton Sr. and father Cowboy Bob Orton Jr. both having made their marks in the business, Randy grew up immersed in the wrestling world. He officially debuted in 2000 and quickly ascended through WWE's developmental system, showcasing not only natural talent, but a maturity and ring psychology beyond his years. Orton's breakout moment came in 2004 when he became the youngest WWE World Heavyweight Champion at just 24 years old. This achievement thrust him into the main event spotlight and began a career filled with title reigns, legendary feuds, and character reinventions, most famously as the Viper, a cold, calculating predator with a lethal finishing move, the RKO. His style balanced athleticism and storytelling with a ruthless edge, making him a fan favorite and a feared opponent. The physical cost of greatness. While Orton's career flourished, the physical demands of his aggressive style and grueling schedule began to accumulate. Professional wrestling, despite its scripted nature, requires incredible athleticism and subjects performers to high-impact moves, repetitive stress, and injuries that would sideline athletes in any other sport. Orton's style involved not only striking and grappling, but also numerous high-risk maneuvers and physical brawling, which increased the risk of injury. Moreover, the pressure to maintain a presence on television and participate in pay-per-views left little room for extended recovery. This relentless pace resulted in multiple injuries that tested his resilience and determination. Chronic shoulder injuries, a recurring nightmare. One of the earliest and most persistent physical issues Randy Orton faced throughout his career has been chronic shoulder injuries. From as early as 2002, Orton experienced shoulder problems severe enough to force time off from wrestling. The shoulder joint, essential for nearly every wrestling maneuver, is notoriously vulnerable to dislocations and strains, particularly in a sport where high-impact moves and slams are routine. Orton's shoulder injuries were complicated by hypermobility, a condition that makes the joints more prone to moving beyond their normal range. This meant that his shoulders were more susceptible to dislocation and re-injury, requiring careful medical management. A particularly memorable incident occurred in 2010 during WWE's Over the Limit event, where Orton dislocated his shoulder in a match against Edge. This injury not only caused immense pain, but also raised concerns about the longevity of Orton's career. Despite surgical procedures to stabilize the joint, his shoulders remained a recurring problem. In 2015, he underwent yet another shoulder surgery, which once again sidelined him for several months. Medical professionals at various points warned Orton about the risks of continuing in such a physically demanding career. Some even suggested that he consider retirement to preserve his long-term health. However, Orton's characteristic determination, combined with his passion for wrestling, saw him refusing to quit. Through grueling physical therapy and rehabilitation, he made multiple comebacks, each time proving his resilience. In the devastating back injury of 2022 and spinal surgery, while his shoulders gave him chronic trouble, it was a devastating back injury in 2022 that arguably posed the most serious threat to Randy Orton's wrestling career. Back injuries are especially perilous in professional wrestling, given the strain on the spine during high-impact moves and the potential for long-term damage. In late 2022, Orton was diagnosed with cervical cord neuropraxia, a condition involving temporary nerve dysfunction in the spinal cord. This injury resulted in symptoms such as numbness, weakness, and significant pain, all of which threatened not just his career, but his overall mobility and quality of life. The severity of the injury led to Orton undergoing spinal fusion surgery, a complex medical procedure where two or more vertebrae are permanently joined to stabilize the spine. Such surgeries are considered a last resort for athletes, often signaling the end of their competitive careers due to the risks involved and the lengthy recovery time. Orton's spinal fusion surgery required extensive rehabilitation. Post-surgery, he embarked on a difficult journey to regain mobility, strength, and confidence in his body. WWE's medical team closely monitored his progress alongside independent specialists to ensure his recovery was on track and that he would only return to wrestling if fully fit. The wrestling community and fans watched anxiously, knowing how precarious his condition was. Spinal injuries in wrestling have ended many careers, but Orton's history of defying the odds gave hope for a potential return. Addressing the rumors, separating fact from fiction. Injuries of such magnitude naturally fuel speculation, and Randy Orton's health has been the subject of numerous rumors over the years. The media, fans, and wrestling insiders have speculated about the full extent of his injuries, potential permanent damage, and whether he might ever step back into the ring. One persistent rumor has been that Orton's spinal injury could lead to permanent paralysis if he continues wrestling. While cervical cord neuropraxia does involve nerve issues, credible medical sources have not confirmed any such dire prognosis. WWE's stringent medical clearance protocols ensure that no wrestler competes unless fully cleared by doctors, making it unlikely that Orton would risk such an outcome. Reports in 2023 suggested that WWE officials had advised Orton against returning to active competition, considering the risks. Despite this, Orton's camp and close associates have consistently maintained that he remains committed to rehabilitation with hopes of a comeback. His father, Bob Orton Jr., a WWE Hall of Famer, has publicly shared updates highlighting Randy's optimism and determination. Though he acknowledged the seriousness of the injury, there have also been rumors about other undisclosed injuries, but none have been substantiated. Orton has remained mostly private about his health struggles, fueling both concern and speculation. The road to recovery and hopes for the future. Despite the setbacks, Randy Orton's recent progress in recovery has been encouraging. Public sightings of him training and maintaining his physical condition suggest a dedication to coming back stronger. Advances in medical science, physical therapy, and rehabilitation techniques have allowed wrestlers like Edge and Daniel Bryan to return from seemingly career-ending spinal injuries. Their successful comebacks provide a hopeful blueprint for Orton's potential return. If Orton does return, WWE is expected to carefully manage his workload to minimize risks. This could mean fewer high-impact matches, a more limited schedule, and potentially a change in wrestling style to protect his back and shoulders. The company has a vested interest in safeguarding its veterans, especially those with legacies as impactful as Orton's. The legacy of Randy Orton. More than just a wrestler, beyond the injuries and battles with physical limitations, Randy Orton's legacy in WWE is immense. His contributions to the sport transcend championship reigns and highlight reels. Orton has been a cornerstone of WWE programming for over 20 years, consistently delivering memorable matches, compelling storylines, and a persona that has evolved while remaining true to his Viper character. Known for his cold, calculating in-ring demeanor and his signature move, the RKO, which can strike out of nowhere, Orton has inspired a generation of wrestlers and entertained millions worldwide. He has won multiple world titles, headlined major events like WrestleMania, and been part of defining factions such as Evolution and The Legacy. More importantly, his resilience through injuries has become part of his legend. Fans admire his determination to push through pain and setbacks, reflecting a spirit that embodies the essence of professional wrestling's never say die attitude. Conclusion: a warrior's spirit that cannot be broken. Randy Orton's career is a testament to the indomitable human spirit, marked by incredible highs and formidable challenges. His physical toll from wrestling's demanding nature has resulted in some of the most serious injuries a performer can endure. Yet time and again, he has returned, refusing to let adversity dictate his fate. Whether or not he wrestles again, Randy Orton's legacy is secure. He will forever be remembered as one of WWE's all-time greats, a performer who combines skill, charisma, and an unrelenting passion for the sport. His story of perseverance, pain, and triumph resonates with fans and fellow wrestlers alike. In the end, Randy Orton is more than just a wrestler. He is a symbol of resilience, a viper who never stops fighting, and a legend who has left an indelible mark on professional wrestling history.